In August 2024, the grappling world witnessed a revolutionary event taking place in Las Vegas.
They want one more!
It pitted top grapplers against each other for an unprecedented $1 million prize, challenging the dominance of the world-renowned ADCC. The Craig Jones Invitational successfully redefined what it means to be a professional submission grappler forever. This is why CJI was genius.
Guys, should we do this again?
This is what I don't understand. You're gonna go head to head with ADCC.
Well, obviously you can't win a tournament. You put your own tournament on that you can win. Really, it's for the growth of the sport, to compensate the athletes well, and to raise some money for charity along the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is $1 million in cash.
Craig Jones is one of the best submission grapplers in the world, but is also widely known for his jokes about always getting second place, which stems in large part from silver medals at the most dominant submission grappling event in the world, ADCC, which was founded in 1998. I first caught wind of his issues with this competition earlier this year when he posted this video.
If I were to do ADCC 2024, it would be my 5th time doing it. Let me explain why I'm on the fence. So if you beat some of the best grapplers in the world in your weight division, you get $10,000.
Fast forward, and Craig actually decided to do something about his frustrations. He created an event where the minimum payout just to show up was $10,001, which was higher than ADCC's top prize for winning the bracket. This led to a lot of top athletes switching from ADCC to CJI. In CJI, winners from each division were treated like pros, receiving an unprecedented $1 million. In total, the overall prize money allocated to CJI was over $2 million, while ADCC's total allocation was meager in comparison. CJI was also strategically scheduled the same weekend as ADCC 2024 in order to force ADCC to do better or risk being a sideshow to CJI. And instead of being paywalled behind a subscription on Flow Grappling, CJI would be streamed for free on YouTube in order to reach a larger audience. But we still hadn't seen any of this in action yet. And as day one started, some were apprehensive. Jiu-jitsu is not mainstream simply because it's pretty boring to watch, most of the time at least. So to make it more watchable, CJI introduced several groundbreaking elements. Slanted walls, like karate combat, which seemed strange at first, but once I saw them in action, it made complete sense.
The alley walls did such a great job of doing exactly what jiu-jitsu needed.
They made ref stoppages less frequent, made the matches look more exciting.
I mean, if it was a stage, they'd be in the front row of the crowd.
I don't think a match with that much action could have happened without these alley walls.
And it was definitely safer than wrestling on concrete.
Gordon Ryan taking it to Yuri Samoas right away.
And that's the way you do it, I believe.
Second, they implemented 3-round matches with MMA-style scoring.
The scores are currently tied on 2 of the judges' scorecards, so majority decision.
Which is something that people outside of the sport at jiu-jitsu had a much better shot at understanding. And viewers could take a short break if they needed one. Third, the rules, at least in theory, encouraged aggressive action and punished passivity.
We want athletes that are out there hunting for offense, hunting for submission.
All of this combined really made it feel like MMA, but without it being a gimmick. It wasn't like they were just doing jiu-jitsu in a cage with a pre-existing rule set. It felt entirely different, yet still stayed true to the spirit of submission grappling. Not only was the format a game changer, but the event's promotion was a masterclass in viral marketing.
You heard it here, folks. August 16 and 17 is gonna be the battle of the sexy. You have it, Craig Jones versus Gab Garcia.
The event was so well put together, yet somehow felt so nonchalant, almost making fun of itself at times, much like the namesake of the event.
Where you can just deem yourself second best in the world. and absolutely no one will argue with it.
There's a bit of a circus atmosphere around it, but the mission really was about bringing as much visibility to this event as possible.
CJI successfully bridged the gap between hardcore grappling fans and casual viewers. They brought in wrestlers and UFC fighters. The rule set created more relatable and exciting matches for MMA fans. It even had crazy WWE type beef with matches like Craig and Gabby's super fight. And I loved the small touches, like the athletes writing in their name on the bracket after winning. This commenter on Instagram said they never thought they'd get into jiu-jitsu. And someone else on Reddit posted that somebody joined their gym because of CJI. The event definitely delivered on its promise of excitement, with frequent submissions and escapes in matches like Nicky Rod versus Trab, Theon Davies' dominating performance against Mackenzie Dern, the walls creating unique situations and strategies, and of course, probably one of the best jiu-jitsu matches of all time, Cade Ruotolo versus Andrew Tackett.
This is the kind of match you show people when you want to tell them what jiu-jitsu is all about, really.
Oh, Cade, big drive!
CJI set a new standard for athlete compensation. Not only did winners get $1 million, but there was also an unheard of $50,000 best submission bonus and a $20,000 most exciting fighter award. For the first time, we saw top athletes on the world's biggest grappling stage being treated like professionals, much like other mainstream sports. CJI's influence extended beyond the event itself. It challenged ADCC's position as the premier grappling event. It sparked discussions around rule sets and match formats. It demonstrated the potential for free, high-quality streaming, and it set a new standard for production value at grappling events.
Thank you, Craig, for what you did for the sport, man, is amazing.
But while largely successful, CJI was not without its detractors. Of course, former teammate turned enemy and the current face of ADCC, Gordon Ryan, was not a fan.
Thank you to ADCC. If you're not with me, and you're not with us, and you're another one of those cockroaches, then go f yourself.
Craig even revealed that he received death threats.
Oh, I've had death threats from ADCC, from the organizer. It's crazy. It's just ridiculous. Hey.
Another criticism of CJI was that the intergender match was an unnecessary freak show, and this commenter was concerned about the antics potentially making a mockery of the sport. There were also some criticisms over the rule set.
There needs to be some sort of different as far as the stalling call for the guard players. I feel like it's too easy to be able just to sit on your back and wait for the guy to come to you, you know?
And there were only 2 male-only brackets this time, with no women's bracket. Others were also concerned about the seemingly predatory practice of scheduling CJI the same weekend as ADCC. Although the pushback to this is that this was actually necessary in order to cause change. And besides, CJI actually only had 1 day overlapping with ADCC. And another thing that's shrouded in mystery is that we still don't know who the anonymous donor of the $2 million was.
And who's funding this thing?
That's one of those things, you know, your girl takes a trip to the UAE, she comes back with a handbag, you don't talk about it, you don't ask too many questions, you know.
Additionally, all the money was going to charity, which is great, but it does raise questions over the sustainability of the event going forward from a business standpoint. So I'm curious what we'll see for the next one. The Craig Jones Invitational wasn't just a tournament. It was a statement about the future of submission grappling. By combining high-stakes matches, innovative rules, and engaging production, CJI proved that jiu-jitsu could captivate a broader audience, while still respecting the essence of the sport. As one viewer put it, it felt like history was being made. Did I miss anything? Drop a comment below. And also, if you want to see a detailed recap of each match on day 2, check out this video. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.